What's up, guys? Happy Saturday evening. Welcome back to another live stream. Hopefully, you guys are doing well. Get a camera check here, real quick. There we go. What's up, guys? Welcome. Hopefully, you guys are doing well. Welcome to Falwell Airport in wherever the hell we are. I don't really know. I do know that I flew here earlier this week. I do know also that a fire truck just went to the plane. But besides that, I believe we are in Virginia. I don't think we're right in the West Virginia area. I think we're still in Virginia. Correct me if I'm wrong. But I flew here earlier this week in the Comanche and had a great flight down. I switched the prop out. As you can see, it's this prop actually, I feel like it performed a bit better just from what I could tell flying. It also looks a bit nicer with the white coloring. So we have Gabriel. Welcome. It's been a minute, my friend. Hopefully you're doing well. Says he's been there before. Cool airport. The FBO is not that nice. I'm on VATSIM, yes. So I am absolutely on VATSIM right now. And it's going to be, looks like a fully staffed night. And that should be interesting because, you know, it's a pretty decently long flight. And we're going to have to test some skills here. Because, you know, it's not like IRL. You know, there is kind of a top-down system. And it is going to be center that seems to be doing most of the stuff. And knowing DC center is going to be pretty hard to get a word in, knowing how busy it usually is. Drew, welcome aboard. Hopefully you're doing well. Welcome. So, yeah, we're going to start because it is a pretty long flight. We got about 2 hours, 30 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and start by going to walk-arounds here. And we have the aircraft loaded, everything already. So we're going to go ahead and put the flaps all the way down here. Move them. Everything looks good. Just some slight wear marks already, but it's to be expected. Training is going well. I am very close to soloing. Stream is lagging a bit. Fuck. 1 second. I think I can fix that. Why would that be? I'm gonna fix that. Hang on, maybe I'll turn down some settings. I'm gonna try and improve this a bit, but thank you for letting me know now. What could I do to fix that? Yeah, I could turn off stupid settings like that. I could do. I want to keep clouds at that. We could do. Texture we can actually bring back to. You have to restart the sim usually for texture resolution. Okay, you know what? I'm actually just gonna try this. And I'm also going to go ahead and pull an OBS trick real quick, so bear with me for about 2 seconds. And I think I can fix this very quickly now that I'm looking at what might be causing the issue. Yeah, hang on. Give me 2 seconds, guys. It's gonna lag for like 2 seconds. Just give me a second. Okay. Let me know if it's back. Let me know if it's back. I should have had some frame drops and stuff. Everything should be fine now. If you can hear and see me now and you're hearing the words coming out of my mouth, type it. Okay, cool. Back. Awesome. It should be smoother now. I mean, I don't know. Maybe it was just I was in a zoomed out view start to stream, but now there should definitely not be an issue. Alright, there's going to be no fuel actually in the external tanks here. It's a short runway. I'm not going to refuel the airplane, nor am I going to sump the fuel. I'm not trying to burn the external tanks. Captain Nate, welcome. Good to see you. It's been a minute. I know you've been around here before. Good to see you, my friend. Hopefully all is well with you. We'll go ahead and take a look at our wing tanks. This we do need to make sure has fuel for obvious reasons. This could be burning on the way up to New York. Heard close to solo. Will that be my first one? Yeah, it is. I mean, like I said, really the thing was age. Age has always kind of been in the way, but now I can. It's just a matter of when I have time to complete ground school and get that stuff done. And said things that I just mentioned are pretty much done at this point. So we're talking in terms of a couple months, hopefully. I mean, you know, the problem is school, right? Like, I don't have time on, you know, during school days, obviously. I don't get home till quite late. And on the weekends, it's not like I have a ton of time either. Check the prop real quick. Nice and clean, brand new prop. Oil, bit of a concern, but, you know, when I can fly, I will. And that will probably add up to being, in a few months from now, just under 9 quarts. If it leaks oil, it has oil. Remember that. It's got to be a mechanic right there. All right, let's go ahead and check the tank here. We should be burning about 35 gallons on today's flight, maybe up to 40. We have 54 on board. So regardless of which way you put it, we're going to have respectable fuel reserves getting into Farmingdale. So, fuck. There we go. Okay. Go ahead and get rid of those. Wing lights looks good. Landing light. I'm actually not even going to open that. Like I said, I'm not going to waste my time. I'll go and check the aileron. Everything here looks in good condition. No obvious dents, marks, scratches, bruises, or whatever the hell else might be an issue. Everything tail section looks good. Tie down is out. Everything else is good. Tail section on this side is good. Bags, I'm not going to put the plane. I already loaded the plane. This is just going to screw it all up for me. So get back to the cockpit now. Everything is good there. I'm going to hit the altimeter key. We have to do a couple of things now that actually require work. So first is going to be checklists, and we have to get some ATC stuff set up. So I'm going to get my notepad out here. We are November 772 on Papa, W24 to FRG. We are a Piper Comanche. And I'm just going to leave that open. Okay, awesome. So, Telescope, I got better things to do. I wish, man. I wish. Believe me, I wish. I do have better things to do. I certainly do. 4-engine start. Pre-flight's completed. Passengers, you guys are briefed. We're going to New York. Should be all you need to know. Everything else is good. Parking brake is set, pulled out. Everything else is good. Gear switches down. Flaps are being put up. Radios are off. Autopilot's off. Avionics are off. All electrical switches are off. Circuit breakers are in. Rotating beacon has been switched on. Engine start. Fuel selectors desired tank. They're going to be switched to the right main tanks. I left them on the tip tanks coming in the other day. Mixture rich. Throttle cracked. Prop full forward. Carb heat is off. Master switch on, fuel pump on, fuel pressure check. Watch that rise. Once it gets to the green, I'll switch the fuel pump off, and that's when I give it a couple primer strokes. 3, 2, 1. It's in the green. Fuel pump is off. We're going to go ahead and go 2 on the primer. My brother got his pilot's license last year. He's now at FIT. I don't know if I said that already, but that's awesome. You sold early this month, Nate? That's awesome, man. Congrats. Yeah, I can't wait. It's going to be pretty cool. Mags, both. I have a GoPro 12, by the way, and as I've said in the Discord server, I know I've been super procrastinating on that, but I have a GoPro 12 that I just purchased, and I'm going to definitely plan on using that to film real-world flights and stuff. I have the mount on the wing all set up, so I can put it on the wing, which is, like, kind of cool. Hopefully that will not fall off the wing when I film, but I don't think it will. It should be fine. All right, all that else is good. I'm just going to start the plane here, so we're going to go... Clear! And we're going to start. Voila. Down to 1,000 RPM. Mixture is leaned halfway back. There's 1,000. Get the avionics on here. Now we're not going to drain the battery since the alternator's charging them. Oil pressure, everything else is good. Oil temperature, as I said in the last stream, it's going to take a second to rise, but once it's risen, it'll be hopefully stable throughout the flight. Primer is locked. Avionics master's on. Diameters check. I always forget what the hell that is. That's like the one thing IRL I always like. My brain stops working the second it goes to ammeters. Oh, fuck. Meh, it's fine. Heading indicator, yeah, that's always important. Especially on this plane, they really simulate they almost exaggerate it, but that's something A2A does because they want you to see how accurate they are to IRL, but it's called the simism is what a lot of people like to call it, where it's really just exaggerated. So like carb icing, for example, it happens way more dramatically than it does IRL. Checking amps, yeah, I on this plane I always blank out. Ammeters, it's where the hell is it? Oh, amps, right there. I think we could cycle the P to heat check that. Yes, we can, and that's a fluctuation. There we go. Alright, get it up to 1,000 here. Don't want it to idle too much. Like, right. Come on, a little bit more. Should be fine. Okay. Okay. What else am I doing? Yeah, okay. Checklists. Aha. Landing gear lamp is green. Nav lights as required. I'm going to just turn them on. I like to just turn them on. Park the brake release. We're not going to do all that yet. We have a couple more important things to do. We're going to call center. I don't know who to call. I'm going to call DC on 33,725. I'm going to try to use my radio panel to get that to work. I don't know why they're not turning on, so I'm just going to have to use this. And basically it's going to be a clearance and then contact once airborne. IRL, I obviously use my phone and call to pick up. Yeah, Hacks, welcome. I'm sorry about the time change. It's a long flight and I know I have to get up early tomorrow, so I figured if I can stream earlier, I'm going to. I apologize for the change-up, though. I don't like to do time change-ups, but tonight I kind of had to. So W24 is going to be set there for the departure. And I'm going to switch that.
Delta 375, contact New York Center 125.32, see you.
I already see how this is about to go. Great.
Delta 375, contact New York Center 125.32, see you.
New York on 125.32 for the 375. Thank you very much. Have a nice evening.
You too.
And DC Center, Comanche 7721 Papa.
November 7721 Papa.
7721 Papa, the Piper Comanche on the ground at Whiskey 24, looking to see if we can get IFR clearance to Foxtrot Romeo Golf. Fingers crossed.
November 7721 Papa, Washington Center, your clearance is over question number 1.
Voila. So what I do is I double click the mic button to, it's kind of like an acknowledgement. I'll go ahead and put a destination airport in. I smell a huge rerouting because
go ahead, sir.
it's just have to extend the work. I'm going to also lower the
Yeah, that's what I was trying to figure out what
actual volume
was
of
going
the,
on at all. Clear direct Dodge.
And we also lower the volume of Batson. Let me know if the volumes are effed up, guys, and I will fix it. I just need to know. So now we'll wait for clearance, which should be any second now. But
everything went wrong.
I would expect that.
Washington Center, good night. UPS 1071, flight level 240.
UPS 1071, Washington Center, hello.
Sounds are fine? Awesome. Okay, so we are just going to wait for clearance. Like I said, I think this is going to be a massive reroute, but Could be wrong. Could be wrong. Could be wrong. I've done a lot of flying today, guys. I would have streamed it to be
Center,
honest. But I
Wisconsin
was just
5393, looking
in
for
and
Laura.
out of the house all day, so yeah, I wouldn't have been very good content. But I did the CJ4 flight in the morning, then I did Boston to Heathrow,
Wisconsin
and
5393.
now I'm doing this. So I've been
Center maintains
this PC's been running all day today.
The Norfolk altimeter is, I'm sorry, 3017. 603017, Wisconsin 5393.
How many hours do I have IRL? Like a lot. I think 70 now. Like, you know, I'm ready to solo. I have the requirement. Really, in New York, 60 to 90 is what they recommend to start soloing and getting PPL. So I'm within that threshold of experience. So really, all I need is to just get done with a couple small things and get in the air. Just, yeah. I didn't really start training till I was like 12 or 13, so 3 or 4 years ago.
Washington Center, United 254.
Okay. But I took my intro
United
flight, like when I
254.
learned I really wanted to fly, like my parents
We'd like
took me
to
flight
step away
school
out of the
and let me,
cockpit
like,
for about 5
go
minutes,
into
that's fine.
Cherokee when I was
Yeah,
like
report
8 or
back.
9, just to
We'll
kind of
call you
see
back.
if I liked it, and then, you know, went up here and there, and then once I was 12 or 13, I really forgot what ship was. I might have been,
In front
I might
of
have been 13.
1653, the
Well,
Raleigh
that's when
altimeter
I was like,
3020,
alright, you know what, I'm
expect
gonna
the
start doing
vision approach
this.
runway 5.
So, yeah, pretty cool.
5 left.
I have a picture of 8-year-old me somewhere out there in a Piper Cherokee. It's pretty awesome. It's a while ago, man. I've been waiting to solo since that day. You know, I might be waiting just as long
American
for his
596 and
clearance.
send via the Chesley 5 arrival.
Send via the Chesley 5, American 596.
This almost deserves some. I'm actually going to burn off the external tanks while we wait. Somebody remind me to switch those back. Greenlight, what's up, man? Welcome aboard. Good to see you. Yeah, I'm just gonna burn off the wing tanks. So we have like 2 gallons in each, right? 2 gallons. It says there. We had somewhat of an amount of fuel. 2 gallons. Yeah, so I might even just use that for like the first takeoff phase. And then once I get the autopilot on, I'll switch the tanks back. I wonder if they're definitely giving a reroute. This poor guy is probably trying to figure out where the hell I'm going to be able to go at 6,000 or I think what was it, 7,000 feet up Isles 4 through DC, Philadelphia, and New York airspace. Because conveniently, that's what we have to fly through on a Saturday night to get back to New York. So, yeah, I don't want to shut down though. I'm just going to burn the tip tank fuel for as long as I need to. See, everything's kind of getting nice and warm now.
American 2910, contact Jacksonville Center 127.87.
Let's say by like 8:53, so 2 minutes from now, if he doesn't get back to us about a clearance, I'm gonna say something. I don't want to be an asshole. Just kind of dependent on, you know, whether or not it'll actually.
Lynchburg 511,
Pay
Washington
attention
Center, hello,
to,
climb maintain
busy
flight
Saturday
level
night.
270.
Just a small GA plane at an airport nobody even knows exists. That's why I'm not putting a route in though.
Southwest 2409, contact Atlanta
Part
Center
of me
on
wants to do the run up right
132.97.
now though.
3297, Southwest 2409, we'll see you.
Procedure.
Later.
Washington Center, American 297. Can I get that frequency for Jacksonville again?
That is 127.87.
4787, thanks.
See, it's very detailed, you know, like, that's why I love this plane. You can just see everything. What was the oil? I was looking at the oil earlier, it actually reminded
American
me.
320 Washington Center, hello, climb maintain flight level 400.
It's, what else was I looking for? This doesn't show up. Honestly, pick it up in the air. You can maintain me far. Yeah, I know. I talked to this guy about clearance already. I would have picked it up in the air. That's what I was thinking about. Like before I even loaded in, I'm like, am I gonna pick up my clearance in the air or on the ground?
Rather.
But now that I already called him, damn. Now that I already called him fuck was that?
Southwest 9917, contact Atlanta Center 132.907.
I already called him, so I don't know. I don't want to like get going and then have to wait.
Southwest.
853, like I said. Yeah, I just heard that was a. I know the airport's uncontrolled, so I could just Unicom and out of here and call center after, but I
Southwest
already
1672, Washington Center. Hello. Call me team 53370.
Center Wisconsin 5393, field inside.
Air Wisconsin 5393, clear vision approach runway 5.
Clear visual 5, Wisconsin 5393, thanks.
And center for 772 on Papa. Sorry to bother you, just wondered if you had any word in our clearance.
I'll get 2 more things done and I'll go ahead and get it done. My apologies, man.
Not a problem, sorry about that.
Southwest 1167, descend via the Cat 3 arrival.
Yeah, I had a
City
feeling.
to Cat 3, Southwest 1167.
Just don't want to be an asshole. But I'll contact it. It's kind of like equivalent to calling somebody on your phone. You know what I'm saying?
You said what airport were you at again?
That was Whiskey 24, Ballwell. He might just make me call him back in the air. I don't know. We'll see.
November 7721 Papa, Washington Center. You're cleared from the Whiskey 24 Papa to the Kilo Foxtrot Romeo Golf Airport. Your radar vector is Monticello at foul. Maintain 6,000. Actually, maintain 7,000. And then squawk 1316.
Okay, cleared to the Kilo Foxtrot Romeo Golf Airport. Vectors Monticello. Then as filed. Climb maintain 7,000. Squawk 1316 for 772 on Papa.
And November 7721 Papa, read back correct. You are released for departure, correction, clearance void is 90500. Actually, 0100, 90501, 0050, center not later than 0110 of attention. You are released for departure, free change advisory approved.
Over to advisory, we'll give you a call before 0110, so about intentions for 772 on Papa. Thank you. Alright. Vectors to MOL, then it's filed, so I'm just going to go ahead and put MOL in.
Caribbean 1-1.
Real quick.
Caribbean 1-1 to Washington
We do
Center.
have a release deadline. And I'm just going to load the one airway after that, and we're going to get out of here. We need to go to Romeo Bravo Victor. Alright, it's going to be a second. Romeo Bravo Victor. You've got to be shitting me. Oh, to LRP. Sorry. To LRP. Load. Okay, cool. Alright, map. That's good. I'm going to go ahead and switch that to GPS. Parking
Yeah, I'm
brakes
trying
off.
to get it up right now for you.
Cool. Brakes work. Let's get rolling here. Look at a windsock when I can, just to see which way I'm going to end up turning. I think the windsock is over there, I saw. Where the hell is this? Oh, look, we have a Cherokee. Hello. I'm going to assume that's Gabrielle.
Washington Center, Endeavor 5198. We need to switch over to Atlanta Center?
I don't know. They're not taking handoffs. They're being special needs. So if you want to, you can contact them on
Excellent.
128.72.
Okay, 2872. Should we just wait till we get into Charlotte approach?
Alright, let's go.
I wouldn't say wait so late, but I mean, their handoff's been flashing for about 80 miles now, so I don't know what he's doing.
And follow traffic, Comanche 772 Papa's holding short of the active follow.
Technically, here you can actually come all the way up as long as you hold at the top.
Roger. Alright, I'm gonna go all the way up. Yeah, because I'm about to fucking strike the tail. Because I'm not trying to Oh, yeah. Okay, that's nice. Oh, yeah. Okay. I'm gonna assume I'm gonna want to depart downhill. I assume I'm gonna want to depart downhill.
You could go uphill, but I don't know if you're gonna make it.
Yeah, nah.
Wouldn't recommend it.
Yeah, I'm not gonna do it. Alright. So, let's do run up here, actually. I'm not gonna fucking wait. Run up. Position is probably in the winds. I don't know.
Follow traffic. November 820, my Papa's gonna be departing runway 10. Gonna be a straight out
2,000
departure
RPM.
to the south. Fall well.
Engines are good. We have magnetos. Is good. Prop. Cool, everything's good. Carb check, pull it out. Alright, cool. Before takeoff, free correct control. Just gonna get the outside. Elevator's neutral, doors latch, flaps not required. Actually, I'm gonna do flap 25. We'll short field this. Hang on, did I set 25? Yeah, I did, okay. 25 fuel selectors, I'm gonna remind myself.
Follow traffic.
Shit.
November 820, my Papa has departed runway 10 on a straight out departure passing 1,200.
Forward,
Fall well.
car beat, engines, all that else is good, and I'm gonna get moving forward here. Follow traffic, 772 and Papa's back taxiing for runway 10, follow well. Fuel pump is on as well, strobe lights are on. So we don't have 6.9 gallons remaining though, that's not true. Got 1 minute till release, boys. Let's hit it. We'll set our heading bug. Shh, didn't mean to do that. Heading bug needs to be set. That's also not our heading bug. There we go. Alright. Follow traffic 772 and Papa is departing 10 straight out. Falwell.
Follow traffic. November 820, my Papa's gonna be making a straight in approach runway 10, correction runway. Runway 28, fall well.
That's inconvenient. Alright, let's go. Hold the brakes. Full power is set. Release. Engine instruments are in the green. And airspeed is alive. Holy shit. Alrighty, boys. Wow, okay. Positive rate. Gear up. Go flaps 10. That was special. Pitch for 120 knots.
And we got the departing traffic inbound. We have no engine, so we're gonna be coming in runway 28, fall well.
Roger, 772 and Papa's getting out of the way. Flaps clean. Pitch for 120, really 130. I'm gonna get moving. We're gonna go get the autopilot on here. I'm gonna still have to manually pitch control the aircraft, but at least I won't have to worry about heading. That's always a pain in the ass to maintain in the Comanche. Wait for it to say ready. Heading. And now I just have to use trim basically. Let's bring this back to 24 inches manifold and 2,400 RPM. Right about there. And I'm going to also go ahead and switch off the fuel pump now. And at 2,000 feet, follow traffic, 772 and Papa's exiting the airspace to the east, switching to center frequency. Follow.
Follow traffic. No.
Okay, cool. So,
United 240, correction, United 254, I'm closing monitor, Unicom 122.82. Over to Unicom, we'll see you at United 254.
Alright, so he's closing.
Sherwing 1672, I'm closing monitor Unicom 122.8. You have a nice one.
Alright, so I'm just gonna switch. If he's closing, and I'm gonna go direct. MOL. Activate. Switch that. I'll go high track accuracy. Actually, I'm not even gonna do that. I'm just gonna go heading mode. This autopilot's a piece of junk. Yeah, I'm gonna go back about there. Tech, welcome. RIMX, welcome. Ah, awesome. That's cool. Thank you for sharing. Hey, you know what? If you both join at the same time, you're probably both hanging out, so I'm gonna ban you both. Alright, cool. Anyways. I'm just gonna go direct to it from here. Go back to high track accuracy. Get the manifold back to 24 inches, which is... How long is the flight? Sky Vector's estimating about 2.5 hours. I always like to beat that, of course, but tonight I'm not exactly sure that's going to be possible. And we are climbing to 7,000 because conveniently the one day I fly back, it's actually a headwind as well. So it was a headwind on the way here, and since it's a low pressure spinning counterclockwise offshore, it's the headwind on the way back. So actually the higher we go, the worse the flight time will be. So I'm just going to choose to... upgraded panel, G3X. I really just, I mean, look, I'll live with it, but the panel sucks. I mean, it sucks. It's ass. Like, I mean, you know, it really just sucks. But if we got like a unit maybe that big, we could probably fit an Aspen right there. And then like a... Well, what is Aspen like? Is that same company have MFD units? Because like if you had something like the size of a G1000 and you just put it right here, that could actually, this could probably fit a G3000. So if you put a G3000 there and then like just kept that and that right there, and then over here you could put your engine monitor and backup gauges and whatever the hell else you need. Yeah, I mean, absolutely, Greenlight. I agree. Like, you know, I learned with steam gauges. The majority of the Cherokees at my flight school aren't steam anymore. Actually, they all have glass. But learning steam was really beneficial for me. It's just now stuff is moving on, you know? Maybe dual G5s and the 750 and the 650 in the right. That is a good idea. I hate this thing being here. It's just so annoying. Like, it does nothing. I mean, you know, I guess it's still great to have this, obviously. I mean, it was either this or not this. I'm gonna go high. I don't even know what the mitigation setting does, but probably something important, right? Let's go ahead and fill out the rest of the flight plan here. We're not close to 7,000 feet, are we? No, we have a little while to go. That's why Steam IRL glass, it is the future. And I always, like, no matter what plane I end up flying with, you know, I definitely plan to own my own aircraft in the future. But whatever aircraft that will end up being, it will always have at least 1 or 2 backup steam gauges. That's something you should always expect from me, because I don't trust I mean, it's great to have, and as reliable as it's claimed to be, I don't trust it. And especially, you know, it can't have me dying, so I would really like to have some element of comfort. We're getting bumped around up here. I don't know if you guys can hear that. Keep keep that manifold pressure up at 24, and I'd say like I'm not gonna lean the mixture back until we get to cruise. Keep the a lot of that is actually, and we'll talk about that, but a lot of keeping the mixture in on the climb has to do with our engine cylinder temperatures. And right now they're nice and cool, but especially on a hot day, the more rich your mixture is, the cooler those cylinders are going to be because they have a lot of fuel going through them, and they're cool. But when you lean that mixture back, you're obviously changing the mixture ratio of air and fuel that goes into the engine, and as a consequence of that, your engine will get hotter, and that's going to, number one, affect your engine, and number two, affect your wallet, because you're going to have to start paying for more maintenance when you get more and more wear and tear on your engines. Learned to fly on steam 25 years ago. It'll keep you ahead of the game. Screens do go out, however, everywhere in the world is not. Yeah, you're exactly right. I mean, airliner wise, really, I, for obvious reasons, prefer to have glass, but I've flown airliners like, let's say, the 727 or the 737-200. I've flown those in the sim with, obviously more, antiquated instruments. It is just kind of dependent on your skill level. Like most entry-level pilots into flight sim, for obvious reasons, will prefer having glass, especially in airliners like the A220neo, for example, which has kind of become a meme of an airplane in the sim at this point, because almost everyone flying it either knows what they're doing or is flying a Delta delivery from New York to Heathrow, Alright, so let's do a couple things here. We have some leaning to do on this mixture, so I'm going to bring that back. Alright, I got to trim down. That's just a down trim. We're about to increase speed a lot. I'm just going to keep bringing the mixture back. A pretty substantial amount, actually. Until we lose horsepower percentage. Yep, so there it is. So now I'm going to bring it back again. And I'm going to bring the throttle back just a little bit until we reach that 75% marker, which is going to be our cruise power. I like to do 75% cruise. So, right about there. And now we are leaned out. So we're not gaining more horsepower from adding fuel. So I'm going to see if I can pull back any more. Nah, looks like not. Okay. That's okay. We are back to 14.2, so I did bring it back a little bit more. I'm also going to bring the prop back just a tad bit here because I don't want to overstress something. So 2400 is going to be prop. We're kind of looking for a high-speed cruise. It doesn't favor efficiency. I'm just going to trim the aircraft down a little bit more. And you can see now, indicated airspeed is actually over 160, but we're only doing 144 rounds. That's not exactly optimal. So we are going to have to deal with that, unfortunately, for probably the next 100 miles. I am hoping this turn will help us a bit, but to be honest with you, I doubt it will. I'm going to turn the landing lights off. And yeah, I guess at this point we are just at a cruising state. We do have 19 knots straight off the nose, so yeah, it's definitely not helping us right now at all. You can hear the wind noise, which is actually pretty cool. But you'll hear as we go over the mountains, like, the turbulence hitting the wings, and you hear that little, like, hollow pop sound as we bounce around. And it's just, I always find that pretty cool how they somehow managed to design it that way. I don't know how to fix this engine monitor here. Can I update it? Hang on. I think I can do it through this. Engine. There should be a... Yeah. There we go. Don't get me wrong, I love glass turn-up on planes that I fly IRL. The plane is steam, at least you're not limited. Yeah. No, I mean, if you know, it's definitely a good skill set because you can get into a steam plane, like you just said, and not have a problem, you know? I mean, I have friends that fly steam planes, and honestly, they are pretty cool because, you know, you really do feel like you're actually flying a plane. Once you get more and more glass in the cockpit, it feels less like a task. And I mean, you know, I don't mind it feeling like a task because it's a task that I love to do. I love flying, but you know, some people really just want to take the fun out of it, take the flying out of flying. Yeah. We're gonna watch our manifold pressure. If it slowly starts to drop, I'm gonna pull the carb heat out, because that does mean we get carb icing, which happened to me the first flight on this plane. Actually, I had such bad carb icing that the engine locked up. It was pretty bad. I don't even know. I forgot where I was flying, but it was like the first week of owning this plane, and I was doing. I think it was like a 50-mile flight. It wasn't that far, and I was at like 3,000 feet only. So I don't really know whether it's carb icing. I think they kind of fixed the severity of that, but you know, I started noticing that my engine was just constantly losing power, and all of a sudden basically got to the point of sputtering out as soon as I landed. I'm like, oh shit. Alright, we can push the throttle back forward because we are losing, and we can give it a little extra juice now. Let's get back to that 75% mark, which is going to burn us a bit more gas, but we already got 1 knot out of that. Hopefully we get maybe 146. Yeah, there's 146. You might even hit 147 eventually. It's gonna take a second. You know, planes don't accelerate super fast when you're slowly, incrementally adjusting your thrust and cruise. But I think that departure went really well. This definitely is a really weird airport to fly into. There actually was a mesh glitch flying in there the other day. I was flying in at night, so I took the RNAV into the opposite runway, so it was an uphill landing. And I was like, oh shit, you know, like the mesh was all, because I guess, I don't know what happened, I just had to reinstall the scenery. But like my main gear went like through the runway, and I was so worried because I thought I wrecked the plane. Because in this, you know, with the A2A, it simulates you wrecking the plane. So I'm like, oh no. But I was fine. I still fly old school IFR, IRL, paper chart, and I still print, I still do printouts and IFR charts just to keep my skills up. Glass can make you a little lazy because it does everything for you. Yeah, I mean, that's like, am I sharing my, let me see if I'm sharing my whole screen. I am. So like, let's have a look at this for example. This is always something I find so cool. So like, here's my whole screen, right? So, this is our routing for today, right? I planned this all out on SkyVector. It says 2 hours, 35 minutes, 38.6 gallon burn, up at 7,000 feet. We took off with 54 gallons of fuel. It's obviously not going to be perfectly accurate, but it's not going to be inaccurate either, you know? I do have an aircraft profile for this setup. I just exposed my email, that's wonderful. Okay. Yeah, it's fine. Email me, whatever. It's not even my primary email. But basically, if you look at this, 14.8 is pretty much exactly what I have as, you know, my fuel flow. Cruising altitude. Obviously I just did its defaults, but it's not my actual thing. Climb speed, I'm going to actually adjust that, so let's go ahead and switch that real quick. Vertical speed, I would keep it at 1,000. Climb fuel flow, 22 is probably somewhat correct. I don't have four-flight, man. I ain't paying for that. No way. I do not generate enough money to put out enough money to make four-flight work. My days flying steam almost over. Next year, heading to college. Yeah, all the college planes, man. You guys got the Archer TX. Wait, I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Like, as cool as it is, that glass instruments, the Archer TX or LX or whatever it is the most pathetic plane ever made by Piper. It's sad. I mean, it's just plain sad. Like, it is. I mean, $400,000 for a plane that has manual flaps. Sure, it's got fancy screens, but buy a Cherokee for $30,000 at your local shit show airport, and pay 60 grand, 70 grand to put those same screens in, and you just bought yourself a Piper Archer TX for a quarter of the price. Because Piper wants to charge for it. I mean, you tell me. Need foreplay? Yeah, I know. I'm not gonna bother paying for it now. I don't fly enough to, warrant the use of it. What I hate about this plane, dude, is this stupid autopilot. Like, it sucks. It doesn't even keep. Look at our Valanza real quick. Add me on Valanza if you haven't already. Look, zigzag. You can just see just little tiny zigzags. And look, to make the turn, it goes and it starts turning left, and then now it's gonna have to turn back right, and it's gonna be another big zigzag. And just wait till we get here. Ooh, that's a big turn. Like, what a piece of trash, man. That's the only thing. If I'm gonna have this plane, like, I do need a somewhat functional autopilot. Get a twin. Oh yeah, do that for the car. Like, anyone who's buying an Archer TX for their own personal use, prayers to them, man. If only they knew how stupid they are. Like, why would, like, look. Let's have some fun. Bonanza. A36 for sale. 6-seater turboprop, 200-knot airplane. I bet you I could find one. Oh wait, let's do this first. Cherokee 180 for sale. And this is just online. I'm sure if you go to your local airport and find somebody selling one, you're gonna find a price way lower than this. But like, just take a peek at this, right? So 74,000, 98,000, and I'm sure these already have half decent. Like this, here we go. $45,000. Negotiable, so you could probably get it for 40. Specs, yeah, okay, I get it. 500-mile range, pretty high service. You know, the 180 is a pretty powerful plane, I will say. Like, the 180 can get 4 people up on a hot day. The 140, you might die. I mean, so look, you can turn that right there. This interior is pretty clapped, but you could turn that right there into 2 G3Xs. Still have room for some standby instruments on either side, whatever you'd like to do. Probably for $70,000-$80,000. So if you really want to go all out, put $100 grand into it, and still get it for a third of the price of an Archer TX. I mean, sure, the engine's not brand new, but let's look, right? High airframe time, 25. That's not bad, but 2,500 hours is not bad for the engine. 80 to 100 hours a year since 2007. But really, it's not bad. I mean, there's surface corrosion, so like, it needs new paint, right, for exterior. I don't think it does. Look at the let's go to the exterior real quick. I don't think that warrants the need for new paint. I don't know what this guy's on. Log since new, interior 7 out of 10. I do like the rating. That's pretty nice. Like here, the interior, you could probably sell some of this crap for a couple thousand too, I'm sure. So like interior, right? So like interior, sure, you can fix the interior. Put 10 grand in the interior. Go all out on the interior. Get fucking Wi-Fi. Still pay way less than an Archer TX. I mean, so let's see. We have. What did I miss in chat while I was looking at that? I got a little involved there. Yes, 182 turbo. I'm not a Cessna guy, but if I were to buy a Cessna, it would be a Skylane or a 206. A stationary. The 206 is the 206 a stationary? Somebody tell me. I don't know if the 206 is stationary. I don't really know too well. If it is, let me know, but I don't know. But it's not about flying IFR on this, is I don't have to call tower looking for a transition on the whole flight. I just kind of get the cruise. Hello, passengers. That's creepy. But look, what's cool about this plane, so look, if you guys listen, I'll shut up real quick. So that's like the fresh air vent, for example, which I can't close anymore. Why can't I close it? Someone help me? Hello? Okay, it's closed. But like, you know, a Bonanza's nice because a lot of them have the electric AC, so you can get in on a summer day and not sweat your balls off. Yeah, so the 206 is the stationary. I would buy a 206. I mean, a 206 or a 210. So like a Cessna 210. And we're still, remember guys, we're still only talking about single prop stuff. But this is a Cessna 210. I mean, like, that's a nice looking plane. That's a really nice looking plane. And it's got retractable gears, so this is the PA-27 Apache Aztec Turbo twin 250s. You know, while we're on the conversation, how about we talk about the plane I'm legit flying right now? I mean, like, it's not bad, you know. I'm gonna lower my sim volume because I'm kind of going deaf here. Like, this is also a really solid plane, and it's fast. I mean, you know, we're hitting a quartering headwind of 20 knots, and we're still almost 150 knots over the ground, burning 15 gallons an hour of 90 gallons we have in the plane. So that's pretty much 6 hours of range. Let's call it 5 hours because, you know, you want to have that 10% reserve. So 150 times, I'm too stupid to think about that. 150 times 5 is 750. We're talking 750 miles. And if you take this thing, no problem, Nate. If you take this thing up to, you know, like I said, if there was a decent tailwind, I had fully intended to take this up to 200 today. So, yeah, you need that extra engine flying over water. But green light, listen. Because that's why they made a twin Comanche. Comanche. Twin Piper Comanche, the PA-30. Same thing as a Comanche, but with 2 engines. Nobody knows that this existed, but they made a lot of these. And like, I wouldn't buy. It's not a turbo. Okay, you got me there. Let's look up. So what was it? The Aztec Turbo. The only thing I hate about some of their older models was that it looks like just a little funky. I mean, this plane looks somewhat fast, but it's just like, you see how like it looks like it's swollen. I mean, it looks like this is the original. That's fucking cool. That's crazy. PA-23 Turbo Aztec F53 Alpha Charlie. Like, that's a nice looking plane. Yeah, the newer Aztecs are pretty nice. Like, I would take this. But if I'm gonna buy like anything, if I'm gonna buy a turboprop or anything with 2 engines, it has to be a 6-seater. Like, that's the thing. If I'm gonna buy a plane and put a little more money into it, like, I would really like to have 6 seats, because then you could do a couple things with 6 seats. Number one, you could collapse the 2 rear seats and put a crap ton of bags in there. Number 2, you'd have enough fuselage length to put a surfboard in there if you want to go on a surf trip. The surfing's fun. I love the surf. No, I don't get to do it much. I'll have to do it. You can put whatever you want, you know? You can put bikes in the plane, too. That's another thing about 6 seat. I don't know if you guys watch SoCal Flying Monkey, which... Oh, we have a... Whoa, wait a second. The alerts work. What the hell is that? Hold on. I will get to you. Wait 1 second. Oh. We have a subscriber. I cannot see your name, so give me a second. Because I will thank you for subscribing, trust me. Oh crap. Delhi X Gaming. Thank you so much for subscribing, my friend. Welcome, welcome. Good to see you. Appreciate it. 484 subscribers. We're only 16 away from 500. We were at 490, but you know, I didn't post for a while, so that count starts to go down. That's a cool airport. I think I was actually gonna fly here originally, and I chose to go because I saw a nice payware scenery. It was like for only a couple bucks for that nearby for Falwell, and I was like, hey, you know what? Why not? That airplane was original, made by Stinson Aircraft. I flew it really. What I love about the, like, if a Comanche, I think there actually is the 260. The Comanche 260B was a 6-seater. So like that's what I'm saying. The Comanche 6-seater, and I forgot which one it was. It was the 260C. Right. So like this is a 250. So the 260 had a little extra power, but it had that special extra seating in the back. They slightly lengthened the fuselage, I think, or whatever they did, they changed it so that you could actually fit 6 people. It didn't look like a comfortable 6-person fit, but like I was just saying, it's not like my only intention of having a 6-seater would be to fly 6 people. It would really be more focused on taking stuff like bikes and surfboards with me, because then you have a lot more flexibility. With a smaller 4-seater like this, you know, you're really kind of stuck with whatever you can fit in the baggage compartment in the back, assuming you don't have 2 people flying. If you have 2 extra people flying, then, you know, you really just can only take a few things and not, you know, I mean, the Cherokee, like the Cherokees I fly, you could probably fit a couple suitcases in there. But really the optimal person count on a Cherokee is 3 people. 4 people, I've flown in a Cherokee with 4 people. I've actually backseated in a Cherokee that has 4 people in it. It's not super comfortable. It's really not. I mean, excuse me. Like these guys. I mean, this is a wider cabin. You can see it's more like a bench back there. They're not that cramped, but like, you know, these seats up here. Obviously, it's a given. You're almost always gonna be comfortable unless you got 2 really big guys in the plane. So you got 4 big homies in the plane, and you're trying to go somewhere on a hot day. Don't do it. And we're really low, like the Cherokee 140, which is like the entry level plane. Like these things, I'm not gonna lie, I'm really tempted to get one for like a really low price and just modify the hell out of it, because there's, you know, they sell speed mods and stuff for these, so you can make this 130, 140 knot airplane. And, you know, half decent panel like this one right here could get you pretty far. The only problem with the 140 that kind of turns me away is it doesn't really have much of a baggage compartment. In fact, I don't even think there is one. Like, that's a nice interior. That's what I'm saying. Like, if I was to get a 140, I'd really deck out the interior, you know? Get yourself something nice. It's up to you, though. I like the more, like, the Bonanza's always been a kind of a attractive option for me, just because of the fact that it's fast and it's popular, you know? I mean, every YouTuber, like Matt Guckmiller, for example, who flies his Bonanza A360, flew it around the world. A lot of people don't know that, but he's like one of the youngest people to fly solo around the world. He flew in his Bonanza. And he always takes tons of people with him, bags, whatever it might be, and he flies, you know, 1,000+ miles at a time. And, you know, he's got tip tanks, obviously, and stuff like that, which is just, it's remarkable to me, you know, like, it really is just a capable airplane. Here we go, 150 knots, it's not bad. We're moving. What I like about this, though, so, like, I've already flown 16 hours in this plane since, I guess it's been out for a couple months now, but it was a busy summer for me. But I took this to Oshkosh for Oshkosh week. I flew in on VATSIM, absolute hell, but I could say I did it now. So my first flight was Oshkosh and back, then I did like Nantucket and back, Connecticut and back. I did a couple small trips, but this is really, this is one of the first few, you know, 2+ hour each way legs that I've done. But I mean, I really love the view. Like the Adirondack Mountains just create such a cool view, and if you're at a really high altitude, they really just start to look much nicer. So we could actually, I'm just trying to think, so like if I bring the prop RPM, we can have some fun here. Back to like 2200, we lose some speed. But I'm sure the cabin, like, let me actually help myself here and turn the headphones on. That makes it sound more insulated. But we're burning a whole gallon an hour less, which honestly ain't anything. I mean, I'd rather get the 2 knots back, but they say it improves cabin noise. I feel like it just improves, it changes the cabin sound, but it doesn't actually change the noise level in the cabin. It's more of just a need to a, you know, it's like, you're never gonna get me to do that again, by the way, but like, it doesn't actually affect the volume in the cabin, in my opinion. Yeah, it's some stronger wind hitting us now. Yeah, no, it's definitely not. Nate, got your friend request on Discord. Sorry about that. The link for the PA, yeah, it's in the link. I don't know, YouTube gets a little weird with links. Like, I can't see the link. I don't know if you sent it, but a lot of times I'll send links and it doesn't work. So I guess I'll go back into some more technical stuff with the airplane now, because we are in cruise and I have not much to do during cruise. And it's not like Batson's online either, so I don't have to listen for my call sign. But we can go to back to the maintenance page real quick, and we can go back over some of these things. So look, you can inspect the aircraft and just see, you know, it'll give you remarks on everything. I just switched, so like I said, I switched to the MT from the Macaulay. Although Macaulay's, I think they actually just started putting them. No, don't overhaul the airframe. Do not do that. No, no. I like the airframe. Don't overhaul it, please. I don't want it overhauled. Praying it does not do that. What up, Ronan? Landing light closed. Okay. So like you can see, it's just, it's super interesting. So this is, and that's actually, so we can go over, like I said, we do some more technical stuff now. So if we go open up the, where is it? Oh my. Did we not just look at this last week? There's a table with all the aircraft performance data on the, Jesus, hang on, oh my, I have to look this up. Viper Comanche 250 POH. Alright, let's have a look. Can I like split screen that? Yeah, I can. MSFS, where is it? Hello? I guess not. Okay, never mind. Alright, let's look at this real quick so I can show you, we'll scroll through it, and I'm really looking for the cruise power tables, obviously. Let's go back, so like we can look at this real quick. So, takeoff climb. So, for reduced power climbs, RPM can be reduced to 2400, 2500 RPM with full throttle. So, like I said, I climb at 94 and 94. Best rate is at 96 IAS. 95, sorry, on the 250, yeah. But, okay, I see what that's saying. I climb at 120, and honestly, I get a pretty decent climb rate, but I'm sure, like, if I'm really going high, I'll take it back, and I'll climb at 9500 knots, you know? I mean, I don't want to climb too slow, but if I'm going up to a really high altitude, like I said, I wanted to do that today, but the headwinds are just super inefficient when it comes to flying at a higher altitude, so we're not going to do that. But let's see, so cruising. This is what we're talking about. Maximum recommended cruising speed of 181 at 75% power at 7,000 feet, 2422.6. So I gave it, you know, it's like it says 2100 to 2400 are recommended. And appropriate MPs to maintain 65 to 75%. But I like to push it's a new engine, so I can push it a bit. Manifolds of more than 23 should not be used. Yes, like that's too high. So like we're not really touching that. We're at 23, so we are somewhat pulled back from the limit that POH recommends. Leaned over 5,000. Alternately, I just burn them both at the same time. I don't care. Approach Atlantic. Alright, so let's go see if we can find. This is what I was looking at a couple days ago. So if we can go sideways, that'd be nice. Standard altitude feet. So at 8,000 feet, at 75% power, which is 188 horsepower. So right now we're putting out 100 and let's go back to the engine analyzer. We're putting out 183. So we're a little less than, so we'll call it like 74, 73%. 74% really. And they really only want us using 75% of power up to 7,000 feet. But I'm sure I could push it. The reality is, though, at these higher altitudes, 75% power just does not become achievable anymore because you just, thin air doesn't really allow you to do that. But you can see that if you get to 16,000 feet, you got 7.5 gallons an hour, you're getting almost 1,100. It's like that. That's what I'm saying. Like if I can go directly from New York to Florida if I wanted to with these tip tanks, the only thing is that, you know, it would require a really high altitude, and if the winds aren't favorable for that, then that could definitely hurt in terms of flight time. And that's when it just doesn't become fun. That's the 180 engine. Here we go. So this is what I'm looking for. So if we look here, let's say we are at 7,000 feet right now, right? So I'm just going to highlight that entire bar. So it actually doesn't even have, it does have data values, but it wants us using 2,400 RPM at 7,000 if we're going to use 75% power. So it's the only way to achieve it. And the manifold pressure would have to be 22.8 to achieve 75% rated power. We are at 23%, so. After this, that's when you start backing off a little bit, and it becomes harder to actually make power in terms of the engine's abilities. I don't know what else is here that's useful. Not much. But yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, you can go into a huge range of technical stuff in this airplane. And what's really fascinating to me is how well they've been able to model this. So, like, we're going almost 2,400 RPM. 400 pounds for a torque. 46 degrees outside, so it's chilly up here. I'm flying during the daytime though, because it's always more fun to fly during the daytime on stream. I wanted you guys to see New York and stuff on the way in. The sun might be setting by the time we get there though. I wouldn't be surprised if that were to be the case. I mean, that's not how I'm gonna find a time. I'm stupid. It's 4:32, so I'd say if we, oh shit, definitely don't want to do that. Oops, I just put the flaps down. Mooney M20J for speed. Really? With 180 horsepower? The plane that I love though, so like the Mooney really competes with the Comanche. These two kind of go head to head. But when it comes to certain variants, my favorite plane that I wish A2A made, but they actually explicitly told me, I asked them, and they said that because of how different this airplane is, you know, they wouldn't be able to do it. But this is a famous Comanche 400. It's a V8 engine, or it's an inline 8, sorry. I think it's an inline 6 or inline, it looks like an inline 8, obviously, it's got 4. But this thing has there's videos on YouTube that I obviously can't play here, but if you will care to find it yourself, Google Comanche 400 and you're going to find insane videos of people flying 230, 240, 250 knots. Actually, I saw one, I think it was at 270 knots in a Comanche 400 with a nice tailwind. 720 CU, yeah. I don't know what that means. I'm not too good with engines. But all I know is that this plane's fast. This plane's really fast. But if you want to Google Comanche, I'm obsessed with this plane. What up? Welcome back, Ronan. Ronan, though, I talk to Ronan about it all the time. Bother the shit out of him. I bother the crap out of him about this plane. The Comanche 400 is just such a fast, powerful airplane. I mean, you could watch that thing get airborne in less than 1,000 feet of runway on a hot day. All you gotta do is just put the power down, and that thing is gone. I mean, look, like I said, look up a YouTube video. I can't show it here, but look up a YouTube video, and you will not be disappointed with what you find. Trust me, you will not. We can get some music on if you want. But I mean, like, it is just super impressive. The only problem with the Comanche 400 is they get, look at the Mooney, see how fast they're up 180. Okay, so let's look it up now. M20J, 180 horsepower. Here we go. I can't show what I'm watching, but I'm watching it. I'm just watching a takeoff video right now. Oh, wow. That's like, wow. I mean, like, how the hell are you even? It's honestly super. Damn. Dude, I mean, all these people are talking 14,000 feet, whatever you want to do. And this guy's just hauling ass. Like, he's flying in and out of mountains at high altitudes. And he just puts the power in, and he's able to go up and down these slopes. I mean, he's flying straight towards the mountain, knowing he's gonna get over it because of how powerful this plane is. I mean, he's getting over 500 feet a minute still at above 10,000 feet, which for any single prop plane that's not turbocharged. Alright, so this is a 200 horsepower, but this is the M20F, but still very impressive. Let's see, Mooney M20J for sale. Doesn't suck. I would pay that price. $109. This one's going for $109. $109. November. I mean, that's probably why it's going for $109. But that's ADS-B in and out. It's a smartly designed plane. I mean, the tail, it just looks sleek. You know what I'm saying? Like, something looks off about it, though. I don't know. Maybe it's because of, like, the boxy look, but put a 3-blade prop on that. I'm sure there's some speed mods you could find. Yeah. Engine overall, IL-36 is cheap compared to IL-5. I know the IL-540 is the Continental. Or Lycoming, sorry. I think it's Lycoming, right? I always get it mixed up. I'm not too good with engines, but the IOs are Lycoming engines, right? Yeah, there we go, Lycoming. Got it right. So this is cheap. So capable of 201 miles an hour. So what the? Okay, that was weird. So engine 1's got 2,300 hours. That's not too bad. I mean, yeah, it doesn't suck. I mean, airframe time below 5,000 hours. Yoke-mounted Garmin 496. Actually, I didn't even see that earlier. The interior needs a little love, but let's look at a higher priced one. Let's see what one that goes for. Why the hell? I'm not looking at the Ovation. The Ovation doesn't count. This is the 60. I can't see this being worse than the one we just saw. It's a little older. I don't like how they barely show anything though. I mean, no prop time. Really low total time. Brand new prop, less than 500 hours in the IO360. Why are they selling this? Something's wrong. Well, the paint, it needs new paint, and nah, man. Hold on. That landing gear, something ain't right. It looks rusted as hell, man. I don't know. I feel like you put $100 grand into this plane, and $165,000 airplane, you'd be pretty happy. I like how the engine's new though. There's a lot of Moonies. I'm not really too. All right. What's the catch here? What do you think the catch here is? $25,000. Something ain't right. Yeah. No way. This is not. This guy is not being for real. Yeah, let's see. There we go. 1/5 pilots was a PPL 300 total time, 75 track, 2025 make model, and gain 10 hours in make model. 10 hours may be obtained in this aircraft with the group's designated instructor. Sounds like a stroke saying instructor, but alright. Monthly dues $260, include insurance, hangar maintenance, cost per hour is currently $28. Aircraft burns 10 gallons an hour, super economical. I will not be doing fractional ownership, but this looks like a beautiful airplane to fly. Like I said, I just would not. I would not do fractional ownership. It's just not my thing. It's not my type of game. I don't play the game of fractional ownership, to be honest with you. Let's look at our ETA to New York here, because we've gone pretty far. 1 hour 39 minutes. That's not too bad. They were fooling though. What's it called? Sky Vector was saying, what time did we actually get airborne by though? That does matter. We've probably been in the air. We departed at 9 o'clock exactly, so 51 minutes. Yeah, that's about correct. That's about correct. We're chilling. Too many people emotions. Yeah, and if you don't get along with somebody, it just becomes a mess. A mess that I do not really want to deal with, you know? Waste of time. We should be getting into some airspace that's controlled fairly soon. I'd really like to do that. We're gonna overfly Kennedy Airport on the way in, actually. They let me fly it as filed, which is pretty cool. That rarely ever happens when I do these types of flights. They never, ever tell me to go as filed, so. I'm glad that they are letting me do that. a part of me wants to burn this last little bit of fuel out of the tip tanks. So I think I'm gonna do it. No. We'll just keep an eye on that, but we can just suck that last little bit of gas for the next 5-10 minutes. There's another airport. Hello. What airport is that? Let's have a look. KMRR. Oh, actually, no, that's Winchester. That's KOKV. Decently maintained airport, it seems. They have an FBO. Decent sized city, actually. I wish Volanta had more of a political map so I could see what the state borders are, because I'm pretty good with geography, but I don't know, like, if you give me a world map, I wouldn't really be able to pick out a ton of U.S. state borders very clearly. I'd imagine we're in Virginia still. Maybe this is Maryland. But, you know, Maryland really doesn't have a lot of land area until you start heading towards the water. So, I don't quite know. Seven likes, let's see if we can get 10 likes in the stream. I know I'm just getting back into streaming. It's been only a couple. I think this is only our second stream in. So, you know, can't complain. And I really do appreciate you guys that have stopped in so far. I really do appreciate it. You know, always just great to chat people during the flight. It keeps me busy because, you know, I always like to do something on a Saturday night. And if it's this, then that's what I do. It's not much that makes me happy, but flying does. So I'm gonna keep doing that. So I appreciate it. If you guys pop along and fly. I mean, that's why I like to stream. You know, gives me some like-minded people to talk to while I'm chilling out. I was doing something. I forgot. Oh yeah, I was showing some screenshots. I got a nice screenshot. Nice and chilling here though. Hopefully the stream's running fine. I took off the 60 FPS. I know it's kind of a big deal, but I'm still streaming at 30, which is so I'm wondering, I'm actually going to put a poll up. Really just because I don't know what aircraft you guys want to see next stream. And you know what, actually, on that note, I'm not going to be able to stream for probably 2 weeks because this Thursday I'm flying Republic Airways on their Embraer 175s. I'm flying up to Boston for 4 days. So yeah, it's gonna be pretty tough for me to stream that weekend. And by the time we get done with that, I think the TBM 850 should be out, and I definitely intend to fly that. So like, I have 3 at the moment. Actually, I only have 2 personalized planes. So I used to have, for those of you that know what I like to fly, I used to have modified FS Labs ACJ for P3D, and I retired that airplane. And now I have the CJ4 and MSFS and this Comanche. The predecessor to this Comanche was the Just Flight Turbo Arrow, which I flew all over the U.S. And it actually wasn't that much slower than this airplane. It actually, I would almost argue that it flies at the same speeds. I mean, I hit 220 knots in that airplane up at 20,000 feet. And it really was, I mean, the thrust to weight ratio, because it was really the same fuselage as a regular Cherokee 180, except it did have some larger wings. But with the retractable gear and a turbocharged 200 horsepower engine. I was easily able to reach 20,000 feet, and down that flight, I think it was from the Seattle area down to Phoenix, I was able to do it non-stop in only 5 hours. Because I was flying over 200 knots. So, I mean, I'll look back at the flight now. So here it was 5-5 Tango Bravo. I put 40 hours on it before I switched to the Comanche. Did a lot of flights around here, some return flights. Then I flew outbound, so I did this 4-hour flight, 6 hours, 6 hours. Both of these were really like the max range, like, but you could fly that flight direct, you know, like that was really, really impressive to me. And I still had 10 gallons on landing, which was enough to get me to an alternate airport if I had to get somewhere. Then I took this short flight up here, and then this was probably the longest flight I ever done, distance-wise, on a single prop plane. And 5 hours and 7 minutes. Up at flight level 190. So you do the math. So 975 divided by 5.1, we'll call it. And our average ground speed on that flight was about 191 knots. Now, obviously, I had to do a spiral descent. Don't worry about that. But, you know, we flew over. I got, what, like a 12,000 foot peak? Pretty cool. But, let's see, where else? So, my last flight was on May 2nd. I flew just a pattern lap. Pretty messy pattern lap, but I think I did it on purpose. I can't really remember why. But that was the last flight I flew on this plane. Maybe I'll bring it back. I might bring it back. Like I said, if you guys haven't added me on Valencia, feel free to do so. Next person to add me will be my, let's see, 203rd Valencia friend. Kind of got my web built up. I've been around town, I guess you could say. Still working on this side of the world, but it's incrementally getting better. This summer I flew my CJ4 around the world. Actually, that was cool. But you know, my Atlantic web is almost completely full. I would like to get some of those more polar routes if possible, but you know, East Coast is pretty much set. I think I've flown enough flights on the East Coast. I mean, this is over a couple of years, obviously, you know. Lots of Friday nights of rainy outside. You sit inside, get a couple of legs flown. You know. Done enough transcons. I'm a big transcon. I've flown so many transcons, it's not even funny.
Washington traffic is
This is my 600 flight.
One heavy short final, runway 19 left, 8 miles out.
This is my 600 flight. That's pretty cool. On Valencia anyway, it's probably my 1,000th flight total. I've flown 626,000 nautical miles. I've burnt 5.7 million kilograms of fuel, which would make Greta Thunberg very happy. And I've logged over 1,500 hours. Which is crazy to think about. It's like to become legally eligible for being a commercial pilot, not a commercial pilot, but an airline pilot, you need to have this many hours. And this is something I've done over 2 years of just constant long hauls. Like, just gives you a grasp of just how much experience pilots have, you know? Like, that's something that people who are afraid of flying should always kind of keep in the back of their minds. It's crazy. These are the 2 flights I did today, 13-minute, and then I did the 6 hours and 8-minute hop, if you will, over to Heathrow. I landed at like 7 o'clock, had some dinner, took a break from the screen, breathed air, and it's a pretty short landing here. It's kind of in a rush. My dinner was going to get cold had I not landed. Some screenshots. Cool stuff, cool stuff. Go back to our flight here. I always like to make tags. Well, you can see we got 1 hour 30 minutes left. Trying to cut that, but we are right now just off of Washington, And center has gone offline, which means we no longer have ATC for the remainder of this flight. So we're chilling. It's kind of unfortunate. I would have liked some coverage, but oh well. Okay, we're about to run out of fuel in those tanks. Let me switch that. I am very glad I paid attention. Safe to say, those tanks are now empty, my friends. The only other thing that would have let me know that those tanks were empty would be a sudden ow, followed by beep, followed by. So, I looked. Got 36 gallons remaining. We're burning 15 gallons an hour, so we should need about 22 gallons, leaving us with my previously calculated 14-gallon reserve, which should be plenty in terms of getting me to my alternate airport, which is only, I think, a 15-mile flight. What up, Summerside? Good to see you. We have... Did I just give away my license key for this? Probably. Oh well, take it. Take it. I don't care. This is a nice feature. So use PPOS sensor data. Fuel required. That's not correct, but fuel act. Yeah, so neither of those two things are correct. All right, it's broken. That's great. What headset do I have? IRL or for my computer? For my computer, I have the. I don't know what I have for my computer. I can show you on Amazon. The ones I'm using right now. Okay. I will tell you that these have excellent noise canceling. In fact, they're almost too good. That's why you see me flying with one ear out, because, hell, if somebody lit off an atomic bomb, I wouldn't hear it through these headphones. These were like $80 too. They were ridiculous. But these are, I've used these for the past 3 years. Maybe 4. And they're just really good. Let me see if I can type. Alright. Maybe they weren't $80. Yeah, maybe they were. Trying to find the ones I'm using, because the one I'm using, I know were the best they have. They probably discontinued them. But anything from this company, I mean, the closest to what I'm using right now are probably really any of them. Obviously, there's probably a reason why this one's $60. What I know about this, it's Siberia, or it's Siberia. I wonder. Maybe that's why it discontinued. Yeah, it'd probably be bad if I opened the license plate. Yeah, I know, it is an interesting name, right? It is an interesting name. Flight timers. It's got a lot of cool stuff. Clean screen. Sure. Don't know what the hell that would do. I always just have the occasional habit of hitting the altimeter set key in flight so that I can get the altimeter. So you've just kind of gone up and down a little bit as the pressure changes throughout the areas we're flying in. Let me switch my gear switch to off. I always have to do that. But that way when I come into land, all I have to do is hit the key once and the gear come down. Something I always forget to do. Should I save for a headset? These are flying. Nah, I don't get. Save up for one for flying. Save up for the. How much do a pair of A20s go for now? I know the A30s are going for anywhere between 12 and 1300. But the A20s, I use the A20s, and I'm a huge fan of them. The A20s are going for 4,000. So honestly, it's up to you. But if you want to just take 300 and save it, put it aside, and just put that extra money in so that you get the next gen of headphones, it's up to you. But like, if you get a refurbished set of A20s, you could probably get it for 800, 900 bucks, probably 800. I don't know if there are. I don't use the wireless ones, I can tell you that much. I use just the standard A20s, and I love them. I need to replace the batteries in them for noise canceling, but it's great because, you know, you get up into, you know, a Cherokee that's loud as balls, and you're up at, you know, whatever it is, cruise, so you're at 7,000 feet, and you're flying along, and you hit that little power button on the little, kind of like this, right? I don't know if you guys will see this, but like, there's like a power button on something like this. Not on these, but like on the bows, I'm saying, just relatively speaking. But you hit that, and all of a sudden, like, every annoying noise that you could possibly think of, my headphones are twisted, just goes away, and you're left with just a quiet hum, and it's honestly really, really nice. Yeah, no, I would absolutely recommend them. I wish we had to replace the batteries, and when I get into a plane and I'm like, ah, crap. Wireless, I know they have like non-aviation headphones that are wireless, but aviation headphones, as far as those go, I mean, you're gonna see something that says, you're gonna see something like this, but these ain't wireless, these are just missing the cable assembly, which is why they're $100 cheaper. So don't fall for that. Yeah, I gotta get my medical, but from what I've seen, I should be fine. I would love to find more about myself, medical-wise. I think that's one of the last couple of things I need to get out of the way before I solo and stuff, is to get my medical. And that's, you know, I'll get that done probably in the next couple of weeks, or, you know, not too long from now, as long as I do it before I solo, obviously. I'm not gonna start. You know, I'm not gonna solo and then come home and be like, oh crap, you can't fly, and it's gonna be like, shit. You know? A vibe. It's like the best way to spend your Saturday nights. What else would I be doing on Saturday night? This is what I'd be doing. Only thing I'm scared about, ADHD medicine. Yeah, so I know a lot of people that are taking it and are also worried about medicals. Honestly, yeah, like I said, 90 plus days, like you just mentioned, you should be fine. Like, don't lose sleep over it, really. Don't. I mean, it's obviously big if it's not, you know, I understand why it may worry you, but it's not worth losing sleep over. Really. That's beautiful. It's crazy, like, America looks like this, and by the time we land, it'll look like a shithole. But to put things simply, that's exactly the change of landscape we'll be experiencing throughout this flight. Pretty much nailed that explanation. We can look at our nav log here. It wasn't exactly correct, but it wasn't far off. I mean, it was saying we'd be at 157, so it was about 10 knots off. But we still are keeping up a relatively respectable pace, and I think I'm going to give myself a shortcut in a little while once I kind of get an idea of where I am. Yeah, I think I'm going to skip Romeo Bravo Victor, and I'm just gonna fly directly from LRP to Lauren. I think that's what I'll end up doing. I don't know if that'll save me much time though. Actually, you know, I'm gonna keep at that. I'm gonna keep at this route. I'm glad I took the inland route though, because the closer I would be to that low pressure, that's the slower this flight would be. Can't get your medical. Yeah, ATC, man, they're gonna start jacking up pay rates for that pretty soon. They're gonna have to, because they're just not getting people. You know, something else. A couple people who I've talked to have said like if something doesn't work out, they would look to be a flight attendant. I don't quite know if I would look to be a flight attendant if it doesn't work out for me. To be honest with you, I probably wouldn't be a flight attendant if it doesn't work out for me. If anything, I'd maybe be a mechanic or ATC, but ATC that takes, you know, I don't really know what it's like to be a controller, so I don't really have much of an opinion on it, but I don't quite know if that would be the job for me, you know, just speaking from what I've seen, really, to be honest, nothing more than that. We're kind of getting out of an area of wind right now and should start to calm down. We should get about 10 knots of speed back as we get to northern Delaware / Pennsylvania area. So maybe about another 50 miles of this or so, and then we'll be in a much nicer scenario. And then we get back towards New York, and we're gonna get, you know, 30, 40 knot headwinds from that low pressure that's offshore, which hopefully moves away, and it should be gone by Monday. And, you know, speaking in terms of Thursday, it looks like a big front comes through. But not much wind aloft. Really, the next big batch of wind aloft that's coming along is going to be, at least when it comes to winds at flight level, not even flight level, at least when it comes to winds at 6,400 feet. The next big issue with that northeast won't be until next weekend, and I won't be here, so I won't really have to worry about finding the Comanche somewhere. But it definitely looks like this week is a pretty calm week up in the sky when it comes to winds. I mean, you know, 5-10 knot headwinds is the most I see in the entire mid-Atlantic northeast region. Then when it comes to just overall wind aloft, you could definitely tell that there hasn't been much wind aloft over the Atlantic itself recently. I mean, you can see a decent amount of it, but like there's nothing in where the stretch where my mouse is. There's not really been much there. I mean, sure, like that's, you know, 40-50 knots of headwind, but like these crazy 90+ knot headwinds, like that's gonna slow down a couple of flights. Actually, no, it won't, because they're gonna route them over that. Like transatlantic flights have gotten a lot faster recently because they decided to change the NAT tracks. My friend's mom and dad met being ATC at Reagan. Oh, that's cool. I mean, hey, at least you know you have common interests if that happens to you. My FPS just died real quick. I don't know what that was about. To be honest though, like having a Comanche, like 2.5 hours to get from, you know, south of Richmond, Virginia, all the way back to New York, taking a route that takes you out of the way of DC is really not bad at all. And like I said, had the winds been different today, I would have gone up to a very high fuel efficient altitude. And we could have definitely done this flight in an hour 40, which is almost a whole hour less than what today's scheduled time is going to be. But you win some, you lose some, I guess. And today it looks like we're losing some. It's weird. I just saw a Macaulay prop post on Instagram. Huh. Funny. One second. Interesting. Anyway, sorry about that. Just had to read something. Almost 17 hours in this engine already. I'm hoping to fly this plane for a pretty long time. I mean, hopefully it just copies and pastes over to MSFS 2024. And I don't have to worry about getting the hours back. But there is a way to... There's a way to fix that. I actually know exactly. It's like if you guys ever lose your progress... Let's look at this now. It should be, which one is it? It should be the, where the hell am I? Yeah, right, the A2A. No, it's gonna be Comanche, isn't it? Crap. Where is it? I know it's in here. Okay, we can look at something else. How about the Seminole, right? You go to state, so Microsoft Flight Sim, local cache, sim objects, airplanes, Seminole, or whatever airplane it is. Just go to state. You see these lines here? You can change the time you have on the engine, hit save and reload the airplane. So like if I wanted to change the time on this plane to, I don't know, let's say 20 hours, or maybe reset and I want to go back to the hours I originally had. It'll go from 0 or whatever it is, and I'll just type 16 point something, you know. I'm obviously not going to do that, but you get the point. Easy fix if that ever happens to anybody here. Looks like we have some clouds coming up. Didn't really see that in our forecast, but okay. I will adjust. It looks like we should be flying below them, although considering these just appeared, I would not be surprised if we end up going through them. Obviously, if we do go through them, we're going to monitor our outside air temperature to make sure that it doesn't reach below 0 degrees Fahrenheit. There's zero reason it should, but we're going to look for icing anyways, because nobody likes icing. We are IFR, so I'm not worried about not seeing, obviously. I'm not supposed to be seeing. Well, I'm not supposed to be seeing, but, like, you know, have to see. It's not a problem. Yeah, I think as soon as the, who's making it again? The Black Square TVM 850 releases, we're going to do a nice couple of flights in that plane. That I can guarantee you. So. Just chilling out. Kind of sucks that they, let me see, I gotta switch the music. This music player is gonna run out of time soon. Could switch to, ooh, I had an idea. Don't know. Nah. Alright, when in doubt, reggae it out. So we're gonna switch to reggae. This works. Switch to reggae and calm. Like, guys, I use the YouTube music obviously because it's non-copyright. If you want to call this reggae, you can, man, but that's no reggae. I'm just saying. I guess that's somewhat more like reggae. I'll take what I can get for free, right? It's free and attribution's not required. That's cool. Look at that. It's like, I love seeing clouds like that. It's like my favorite clouds to see when I'm flying. Okay, let's go have a look at them real quick. See how they kind of like get dark like that? They look like they have layers. Like, that's cool. It's like a little dark spot, you know? The question I have now is, how do I reset my, my view? I'm gonna have to put my headphones on. I hear it on my right headphone, because surround sound. I was just talking about the speakers. I see it, That's cool. There it is. I don't know how to reset the camera, so I'm just gonna zoom back in. It's gonna end up being a pretty cool screenshot, I have a feeling. It's a nice looking airplane. Can't deny that. It's too loud outside though, my ears are gonna be ringing. There's Baltimore just to our right. I'm not gonna make any jokes about Baltimore on stream, but you know what I want to say. Yeah, just not much longer. I'd say we have probably an hour left. An hour. Okay, that's not bad. I can take an hour. I should always set my alarm for the next day, because you never know. I'm not updated to iOS 17 yet, but I hear all these memes. What should my alarm sound be? Anyone have any recommended alarm sounds? I need to hear them. For my wake up tomorrow, what should my alarm sound be? Suggestions appreciated. No, some good ones. I could do that one's. That's like absolutely not. No. There was one I really liked. I just can't remember it. No. If not, might have been in here. Let's see if I can find it. Oh, definitely not. I would rather die if it listens to that alarm sound in the morning. Chimes? Nope. Definitely not. Could I pick a song? Apparently not. That's alright. The best way to wake up in the morning is to some NFL music. CBS intro as your alarm. Maybe I'll set that up tonight. CBS intro as your alarm is like... That's like... That's NFL. Sorry, that's Fox. But, what's CBS? I always forget CBS, but I know it's a good one. Yeah, that's CBS thing. Where's my music stopped? It's definitely some clouds. Just keep that sharp eye on the thermometer. want to get them close to 0 because then you get icing when you go through these clouds. We're definitely going through them. So here we go. What's the METAR looking like at Republic, which is our destination? Let's have a look. But yeah, I guess since the last stream, so in the span of 1 week, I've flown from, you know, from good speed back to what's it called? From Goodsby back to Farmingdale, and then I did Farmingdale to Falwell, so I've done a bit of flying on this plane this past week. VFR 3016, let's have a look. Alright, 330 at 4, the winds, clear skies, temperature 17, dew point 15, 3016. Okay, so there's not really much in the way of clouds, I don't think. Let's have a look one more time here. I always like to double check it with the actual aviation weather meter. Sky clear below 12,000, so not worried there. So once we make this right turn at Lima Romeo Papa VOR, it's pretty much just going to be flying eastbound, and then a little bit, you know, maybe another 25 miles of northbound, and then we'll be flying over the horizontal bridge, and then that's when, I think over JFK I'll make our descent. So after we overfly JFK, I'll bring the power back, and we'll start dropping into Republic. How long did it take us to reach 7,000 feet today? From 1,000 feet, it's really, yeah, 7,000. It took us 8 minutes to climb. Yeah, that's about reasonable. 8 minutes to climb 6,500 feet if you include field elevation. And bear in mind, we also had the mixture fully rich throughout the whole climb, so we could have probably gotten an extra 200 or 300 foot per minute out of certain parts of it, but I wanted to keep the engine cool, so I chose not to do that. Intercom, let's see if that works. Yeah, we're in the soup. Temperature's still staying pretty warm. Just watching the manifold pressure, because if that starts to drop, it means we're getting ice in the carburetor. I need to pull the carb heat out, but I'm not going to waste engine power, take 1 or 2 knots off airspeed if there's no valid reason to do so. Approach, so I'll just leave that on, so as soon as they need to come in for a landing, I'll take a quick glance down at the checklist and see what needs to be done. We're over Lancaster, Pennsylvania, so we've hit Pennsylvania, guys. That really, you know, it's incredible how fast we can fly that. We went from Virginia to Pennsylvania in the span of an hour and a half. Not bad. Way faster than a car could have done it. An hour and a half in a car by now, we would have been probably at Harrisonburg, which is still in Virginia. We didn't have left Virginia yet. So you want to put that into perspective. Then again, people drive at different speeds, but average highway speed, you know, hour and a half probably would get you halfway to DC from where we were. We passed DC at this point. We're over halfway done with the whole fucking trip, you know. 2 hours into the stream at this point as well. Exactly 2 hours as of 47 seconds ago. Let's take a look and see what traffic's flying right now. Helicopter. Nothing really in the Farmingdale. Actually dead chat at Farmingdale right now. The next arrival is from IAD on a Bonanza. And then after that is the morning arrivals from various places. Let's see what flew in today. We had a Saratoga from Philadelphia, which is about an hour flight. We had a Citation from St. Augustine. Citation, actually, sorry, that's a Challenger from Orlando. Canceled flight from Oxford. We had Cessna 172 in from Shirley. WSH, which doesn't even show up on this actual thing. It's just kind of weird. Canceled flight from Hartford. We did have a flight inbound. This looks like it's a daily flight. I think it was what they call them, the Angel flights or whatever. They fly them daily, and they haul ass too. I mean, hour 30 minutes, 155 knots. It's honestly almost the time it takes to fly in a commercial jet. It's not much slower. I don't know how that's possible, but they haul ass in this thing. 361 Bravo Charlie hauls ass. It's probably the same plane that flies. This plane buzzed over yesterday. This plane was hauling ass too. This was 170, 180, 190 knots at that one point. Final descent. Yeah, this thing hauled ass. It's crazy. What was that? 694 Juliet Lima. We can look that up. Farmingdale, this just flew outbound and inbound. That was it. Interesting. Almost 200 knots the whole way there. It's only an hour to Baltimore, so it's about as fast as an airliner. Maybe a little bit slower, but not bad. Holding out, still a little while to go. We're kind of getting in that final stretch now that we're hitting that waypoint here. Fly us just north of Philadelphia and eastward into New Jersey, right over Trenton. And then we hit New York, so we're way past the halfway point at this point. I'd say the halfway point was like right back there. Yeah, give or take right there. So we're past the halfway point at this point. We got moving for sure. Definitely got moving pretty fast. The highest I've flown in this plane so far is 11,000 feet. So this is the ACJ, you know, has the highest hours of any plane I've flown. Flown it far and on long flights as well. Burbank to Sydney probably takes the cake. Crazy range that plane had. But we made it work. We made it work. Yeah. Yeah, it's been around. But we can look at the Comanche now. I don't know why there's two A's. I'm actually going to delete this one. So always messes me up. This is the one I actually care about here. So we did a decent amount of flying. This plane, this was obviously the longest flight, 4 hours, 20 minutes. Not the longest, but the highest altitude I meant. We got up to 11,000. And we flew the whole flight at 11,000. 730 nautical miles with plenty of fuel to spare when we came in to land. On the way there, we had plenty of fuel to spare. Not plenty, but we had fuel to spare, I should say. loaded the whole runway, but happens. Some of the shit I see is pretty crazy, to say the least. People. Oh, I'm a dumbass. Wow. We're 170 miles an hour, not knots. Incorrect, I was incorrect. Speed. True airspeed. I don't know if that was in knots or not. Get it? Or not. But this should have given us a much more accurate ground speed, which it didn't actually. That's not accurate at all. Let's go back to 160 on the speed. That should be more accurate, and now I should be able to get the nav log with proper. That's about what we've been experiencing. Really, it's not fully correct. It's like 163. That's about right, actually. This is, yeah, 165. We'll call it 165, but that should be most of that. I'm just trying to fine tune the speed profile on the Comanche for Sky Vector, because I always like to just have that accurate reading. Sitting back like this is much nicer. That's what I mean. Hello, sea cleaner. Goodbye. You're not cleaning my junk files because I guarantee they are not junk. You were just trying to wipe away important things. Don't do that, sea cleaner. It's not nice. Vibing right now. Almost there, guys. Sorry, no, these long flights get long, but so I don't like to do too many of them. But this flight wasn't supposed to be this long. I did not expect this level of headwind to slow us down today, but appreciate those of you who have stopped by so far. As always, if you are new, smash the like and subscribe. It's always appreciated. If you don't like what you see, do yourself and myself a favor and don't subscribe. Don't. But if you do and you haven't subscribed, what else are your fingers doing? Just saying. Just saying. Welcome back, Ronan. We are almost there. We're in the final stretch. Just getting we're getting a little tired right now. But I'll tell you what, we're getting there, bro. An hour and 46 minutes into the flight. We got about 45 minutes left. Maybe less. It probably will end up being less than 45 minutes. But I'm hoping it ends up being less. We're just vibing. Wait, if we get a Comanche 400, I'd be there already. No, bro, I do not see. You can see me squinting my... I see the picture you sent me. I don't get it. Oh! I don't know if I can share the picture on here if it's copyright protected or not. It's like those new things where... Like if you, like everyone's been obsessed with these. Like if you squint your eyes, like you could see like a message in a normal photo. Like a group of houses, you squint your eyes, and you can see like a person. That's like the picture I just got shown. I don't know. It's so funny. I'd love to figure out how to like make these things. I don't know if it's AI generated or something, but it's hilarious. It is. That's absolutely hilarious. Alrighty, boys. We're about to cross the river up there that takes us into the wonderful land of New Jersey. No offense to our channel moderator, Nairo, but I don't really like New Jersey. so stupid. Things where you squint your eyes, man. Some wild ones. You look on Instagram and just Google it. What are they called though? Like, is there like a name for them? I don't get it. It's hilarious as hell. Honestly, 73% horsepower is not bad for a cruise setting. Hidden faces. That's no, because it's more than just hidden faces though. There's hidden messages too. How many knots would I gain if I just floored it right now? You guys want to see that? Let's go. Max throttle. Okay. It's 2580. So that's if I like slam it. And honestly, we gain like a knot from that. That was kind of nothing. So. That answers that question. And we're back at 75% power, and we maybe gained like, that maybe was like a 2-knot gain. But for the amount of extra fuel that the engine just started sucking down as soon as we pushed the throttle forward, it's not worth it. This is just a really good cruise power here. Like, let's see if I could bring the power back a bit. Actually, I did it already. Didn't do anything. Like, what if I brought that back? Yeah, we're losing power. Alright. Experiment concluded. This is the best power setting. Unarguable. So we have an hour and 36 minutes of fuel remaining at this pace. So that means we should have 45 minutes of cruise extra at this, which is just more than enough to get to wherever we need to go. Plus maybe a go-around or two in between. In the event that that ever has to happen, which it shouldn't by any means. I have to say, I'm really, really happy with how YouTube Shorts are doing. Like, I don't know if you guys who have been following have seen, but I've uploaded 3 or 4 shorts a week now, and all of them have reached a certain level of views. I think so far, the last 3 I've posted have at least gotten me a subscriber or 2, or at least have gotten over 1,000 views, or both. But like some, they only get 300 views, but of those 300 views, I'll get 2 or 3 subscribers from that one video, and it's like a 10-second clip. Theoretically, if I took a 12-minute video of a landing and cut it in to 48 15-second clips, and posted all 48 of those, that's like a free 100 subscriber thing. This is some big brain idea right here. Holy shit, that could actually work. Alright, I think we're in New Jersey now. Pretty sure we are. No, we still got a little more to go till Jersey, guys. We're not there yet. But Philly's right there. Philly's right off our wing. Did you guys hear about that, the Condor A330 Neo that got rammed by a baggage handling vehicle? Baggage loader, sorry. I don't know what I'm saying. And it actually, went through the fuselage. Honestly, I mean, I'm sure they could manage to repair it, but if not, let's see if they can repair the panel or the plane's the write-off. I mean, it's substantial damage. Like, it's a full, large-scale puncturing of the aircraft exterior. Like, it's there. I don't know. Oh, excuse me. I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if they write it off, though. Would not surprise me. Yeah, I think we have no more ATC. It's like ATC's only offline for the section that we're flying in. It's like they know me or something. They probably, I don't know. I've never done anything wrong with them. That's a network to scare controllers, so I've never done anything not wrong. I mean, everybody's had their fun, but I've never scared controllers away from. I feel like I have reports on my name. How about that? You know, I've always been a compliant aircraft operator, as far as I'm aware, anyways. Alright, I think we're getting pretty close to the point where we should start seeing New York up there. I'd say maybe in about 5 or 10 minutes you'll start to see New York come up on the very far horizon. What airport is this? Isn't it even an airport anymore? Because I see X's on all the runways. Willow Grove Naval Air Station Joint Reserve Base. KNXX, which something tells me is meaning that the airport is no longer in use. Would have been a solid place to keep some fighter jets, but now it just looks like an awesome place to take a car on and go 220 miles an hour down the runway. There's an abandoned airport called Calverton on Long Island here in New York that actually is pretty much like that. They tried to put up barriers to stop cars, but you just drive around the barriers, so it's not that difficult. I'm sure it's trespassing. I wouldn't do it. So we're still in Pennsylvania, technically, but at this point we only have like maybe 2 minutes left of being in Pennsylvania before we get back to New Jersey. Almost there. I was about to reach like the arrival page to put in arrival perf data, but it's not like we're in a plane that requires that stuff. We go setup. I can't do that though. System stats. That's not. Services. Can't do any of that yet. Traffic. Nobody. Weather. Nothing. What else is there to look at? We have system again. I do like the touchscreen. When we get the TBM 850 all set up, it's definitely going to be a big debate as to whether or not we use the 750 or the 530 if we want to go antiquated or new. Because both for functional GPSs, obviously we know the 750 is better. But we already have a 750 in this plane, so the main question really will just gonna come about, like, you know, which one is better. Excuse me again, guys. Sorry, it's getting a little late. Had a long week, so definitely been getting sleepy, to say the least. Yeah, I understand it. Well, it looks like the government's not shutting down. That's great. I just saw that now. Alright, sorry about that. I've been kind of distant. This is like that last stretch, especially at this hour of the night. It's a little tough, you know. I got about 6 hours of sleep ahead of me tonight. So, yeah. But it's alright. I'd love to be doing this anyways. It's the best way to spend a Saturday night, no matter what circumstance you're talking about. We're almost there. Alright, welcome to New Jersey, everyone. We made it to New Jersey. This is the second to last state of our tour. We did Virginia. I think we touched West Virginia on the way out. I'm pretty sure we did. Maryland, Pennsylvania, Jersey, and New York. New York is the last stop, obviously, because that's where we're landing. So I'm wondering, I haven't really, it's the ADF, right? So like if I get this, turn this on just by doing that. The radio stack down here, I usually just leave the power on for it, so that whenever I turn it on, it automatically lights up. But you can turn these off. I just don't like to do it. How's it on? There we go. Now they're on. There's the Atlantic Ocean right there, so now you know we're getting close. And like I said, 5-10 minutes later, that's New York right up over there. We're really in the last stretch now. It's a nice wing view right there. Like I said, I'm definitely noticing this plane just flies smoother and just overall better with this prop. I don't know why, but I just like this prop a lot more. It just has a lot more, I don't know, sleekness to it. I just noticed that, you know, in terms of cruise speed, we get a couple extra knots, just a couple extra. It's prop. Overall, it's nicer. It's nicer. And the color matches the plane too. I mean, that's pretty big. It's a big thing for me. So we got 21 knots, so we're definitely going to slow down big time when we make this left turn at Robbinsville up here. I'd say we're probably going to lose 10 knots of ground speed, if not more. But that's only very, very temporary before we fly over Kennedy. So yeah, it's going to be a pretty slow stretch between Robbinsville and Lauren up there, right over Verrazano Bridge. It's going to make us slow down a lot. So I'm hoping that should only last, what, I think, oh, it's not really different. I said 8,000, not 7,000. Should give us much more accurate ground speed. That's pretty much the exact ground speeds we've had on this flight, so I'm pretty happy with those numbers. But yeah, Robbinsville, it says we'll be down at like 143, so yeah, about 10 to 12 knots of lost ground speed once we make this left turn up here. We're getting some busier airspace. I'm going to turn the landing lights back on. Just make ourselves known. Get towards the end of a nice fall day up here. Fuel wise, we got 20 gallons right now. Hour and 20 minutes if we keep at this pace. About 30 minutes left of this flight. We should have a little under an hour, maybe an hour of fuel. enough to get us where we need to go. And I see zero reason for diversion today unless the airport closes down for whatever reason. And if that does happen, we'll just go to Islip and still have plenty of fuel. But it's definitely nice having a lot less fuel coming out of that short runway. Even though in the end we probably could have just taken off of full tanks, but we would have also flown a lot slower with that heavy payload. No point in taking more weight with you if you don't need it. I will say though, I had an experience this summer where, you know, had we had not filled up the tanks at one spot and we ended up diverting, but like had we not filled up the tanks, we would have made it, but probably had very little fuel left over. So like, you know, ever since then it was kind of like, you know, all right, make sure you have enough fuel or fill up when you can, you know. Obviously today I didn't, but in the future it's always going to be something in the back of my mind because you never know if you're ever going to end up in that situation. What are you going to do, you know? I've been here for a solid 2 hours at this point, 2.5 really. Have not stood up once. It's impressive. It's pretty cool. You got audio panel up here. We're almost there. Here comes the big slowdown. Probably another 10 seconds here before we make that turn. Definitely looking a little bit cloudier up in New York over there, so I don't see any fog being an issue, but it said clear up to 12,000, so if live weather is actually working today, I think things should live up to those expectations. However, the live weather in the sim is pretty delayed. It's not really, it used to be really good, but as of recently it's been, you know, like I've loaded into New York during a storm and it's been blue skies with a little bit of wind, you know, like it always gets the wind right, but alright, arrival at Robbinsville, so we should be turning in 3, 2, 1. Let's go flight plan. So, are we gonna be turning? Yeah, we are turning. But like I said earlier, this plane's gonna fucking... Let me help it out here a bit. Yeah, that's much better. I don't know why the regular nav mode can't turn that sharp. But it bothers the crap out of me that it can't.
Traffic, November 7th.
Good speed. Huh. We were just there. Alright, track mode should be taking care of us now. But I just wanted to make sure we had a sharp enough turns that wouldn't be zigzagging for the next 20 miles. But as you can see, back down to 144, probably 143 once we kind of finalize this turn here. Just kind of getting this. It's trying to figure itself out with the wind component, you know? Yeah, look at some clouds here, but it doesn't look like it gets that low, so we should be able to just duck under this when the time comes. Solid 15 gallons an hour all through, so nothing super efficient, but I'm not complaining either. Could be worse.
Good speed traffic, November 760 Whiskey, turning left crosswind for runway 12.
Almost there. It's a nice screenshot. Could zoom out a bit now. ETA should be about 15 minutes. 22 minutes, so we'll call it 20. I'm going to cancel my IFR probably when I get close to Republic and just call Tower and tell them I'm inbounds looking for
Traffic turning
an entry to the left base for runway 01, which seems to be what they're using if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, they're using 01, so I'm just going to ask for a left base. Actually, I don't have to ask anybody, but I'm just going to call in left base. IRL, I would have to call Tower. They put me on a left base for 01. So as soon as we overfly JFK, I'm going to bring the power back and we're going to start dropping it down. Alright. I burnt my mouth. I definitely burnt my mouth. I had pizza earlier. Yeah. You kind of get that like, oh. Yeah, no, definitely burnt my mouth. Great. Alright. Okay, so we have about, in miles, we have 49 nautical miles left. We're going 142 knots. Probably 150 plus once you make this turn at Lauren. If the clouds weren't in the way, you'd have an excellent view of New York right now, but the clouds are in the way, so that's going to pretty much hinder every chance we had at seeing the skyline, unless for whatever miraculous reason we can bust past this little bit of haze and sorts. Alright. We should have gone around when I landed last week. If you look back at the stream, we were... I mean, I made it work, man, but... I could have definitely shed probably 5 or 10 knots before that landing when I landed last week. 5 or 10 knots slower would have definitely done me some good. Some goodness in life would have been...
Good speed traffic, 60 Whiskey, turning left crossway to runway 14. left downwind for runway 14.
17.8 gallons remaining. That should be correct, yeah? Yeah, it's about correct. So we're definitely getting a little low on gas now. Thankfully, we're in the final stretch, like I said. So I'm not worried. A little extra fuel would have definitely been nice, but I'll take what I can get. Maybe I should have filled the wing tanks before we left. They were almost full, but I probably could have put an extra 10 gallons, and that would have been okay. There's New York. There's a skyline up there. There's JFK Airport. So we made it to New York, guys. It's pretty cool. Nice little cross-country flight tonight. Some practicing. Whoa. I should have sang we're halfway there, and we were actually halfway there. We're almost there. Whoa.
Good speed traffic. Number 760 Whiskey turning left. Base for runway 14. Good
This guy is like, holy crap. I mean, he's making proper radio calls, I guess, but there's nobody out there, man. You're just clogging Unicom. Alright, here we are. Just right over the Verrazano Bridge. This is our second to last waypoint of today's journey. Before finally landing. Let's get the music off here. And get ready to put this thing on the ground. What the hell? This is the Empire State Building.
Good speed.
Alright, it is the right turn now. Slowly banking, I guess. It's Manhattan, flying over Staten Island right now. See the land show on that side. Over there, and down here, and the rest of it's residential. Here, it's listed land show. I'm not saying anything bad about Staten Island. I don't live there. I'm not in that place of power to say anything bad about it. I'm just, yeah. Barely even scraping past 140 knots now. That's kind of sad. Perfectly trimmed out, it seems. So I'm just going to disengage altitude hold mode when it comes time to descend. We're going to start a descent right over Kennedy Airport, and I'll just let the aircraft naturally drop down, which should, I don't know if we'll pass 18 engine hours on this flight. We might.
Good speed.
Looks like we are. Which should be pretty cool. Go from 14 to 18 hours in one trip. A lot of flying. Back to 150 knots of ground speed though. What on earth is this guy saying? We're almost there. Fucking piece of shit autopilot. Man. Turn back left, come on. There we go. Looks like it's some fresh air in the cabin right there. Some cool September New York air. Really October now. We're 39 minutes away from October in New York. It's nice. Alright. It's about time we start descent preparations here. So landing lights are on. We'll get the fuel pump back on. Or the sim will freeze, I guess. That works too. There we go. Alright. Fuel pump is on.
Traffic, 25 taking off for 13, 10 to 6 March, bound, traffic.
Alright. Got about 2 miles. Just try and get some fuel savings up here before we start dropping it down. Long flight. Distance wise, not that long, but still. Been here a little while. It's a cool view. 20 remaining miles. I think let's we can go ahead and get rid of altitude hold mode, and I'm gonna go ahead and or that too, I guess. Bring the manifold pressure back. And we'll just let the aircraft naturally fulfill its desire to descend. Go back to like 18.3, and that should get us 1,000 feet per minute. Maybe just 18. Yeah, that's maybe close to 17 now. Just let the plane naturally descend, because the way it's trimmed out, it's going to be wanting us to make it one notch down trim. Now I can get a little more power. That should balance us out for the most part. Make sure back a little more rich and peak out. There we go. Making our way down. Probably got to start making this descent a little bit steeper. Alright. Should be seeing the airport shortly. At least I would hope. Maybe that's not quite the case just yet. Get the heading plug to like that. Just start turning the aircraft a little bit so that we can get ourselves onto a more left base like scenario. By more like that. By this point, I'd say maybe I'd cancel my IFR. Actually, no, I'd go a little bit more before canceling IFR. And now mixture is fully rich. Looks like we're on a perfect descent track right now. We're traveling at about 148 knots over the ground, so nothing grandiose. Get a nice sunset. And then the night on the right note. And then the night on the right note. That's yeah. That's what I wanted to say. Thank you, man, for working properly. Alright, at this point, I'd probably call it a cancel my IFR. 3000. Alright, here we go, guys. Autopilot's coming off. Oh my god, that's not what I meant to do. Oopsies. I didn't mean to do that. Son of a bitch. Christ, this isn't gonna ever recalibrate now. Oh, it is actually. Alright, prop is full forward. Actually, it's not going to be full forward. We need to slow the hell down. I'm going to go into a slip and I'm going to keep the nose level. Watch what this does for us. Flap 10. A little more, and I'll slowly ease out of the slip now, and we'll finish the descent off at 1100. For those of you that might be watching right now, get your landing rates in, please. Landing gear coming down, and I'll wait for the green lamp. Flap 25 is selected. And Republic traffic. Piper Comanche is on left base for runway 01 Republic. Make that left final turn now. We'll start a descent. Idle it now. We'll go flap full right at this highway. It says 4 white, but I don't really believe that. I feel like if anything, we're too low right now. Whatever, I'll listen to it. Flap full now. Approach at like 95 knots. I'll bring it back to 80. As I get over the numbers, but I kind of like to keep the speed a little bit high on this plane. Perfect on the glide slope. Forgot the squawk VFR, but it's okay. I'll do that on the ground. It's not gonna kill us. It's very sensitive controls, but it's alright. What the frick? Oh my god, you just watched that? My whole sim just paused. Alright, pretend that didn't happen. My whole sim just paused. I could not control the
traffic outlook 6533 on
wow. Okay.
10 mile final runway 31 right.
That was, let's just clarify something real quick. That was not my fault. The sim froze. There goes a nose. That's a nose gear replacement though. Public traffic, Comanche 7721 Papa is clear of the active public. That was not my fault at all. Do not even try to tell me that was my fault. That was not my fault. Well, we're on the ground. Really, it was a negative 68. That was a landing, not whatever the first bounce was. I will say our nose gear is probably a little bit tired now, to say the least. Between the hill and whatever the hell just happened. Yeah. Well guys, as we pull into the gate, I'd like to thank everyone for watching today. I know it was a longer stream, and I know, you know, viewership kind of declined towards the end, but I know we are still getting back into things, and I want to thank you guys so much once again for all the support. You know, really just means a lot to me. I can do something I love and share it with other people. It's the reason I'm here. It's the reason we're all here, and it's always cool to see something like that, you know. But I'm gonna park this and head out for the night, I think. Gained a subscriber, 2 subscribers in this stream actually. We hit exactly 18 hours in the engine as well. I should just kind of wiggle it into the gate here. So it's a fun game I have to play every time I park here. I think I did that perfectly though. There we go. Stopped playing right there. Parking brake. And kill it. Strobe. Magnetals is out. Avionics are off. 2 hours and 33 minutes, which is the exact time that Skyvector had recommended. So I think I have it pretty much on point now. Let's go ahead and get tie downs, wheel chocks, controls up, we cover. Empty out the plane. Close the door. And I think that calls it for the night, guys. Thank you all so much for watching once again. I will see you all in 2 weeks when I return from my trip. I'll be sure to post videos of the takeoff and landing. Also, that was almost a perfect parking. I could have brought the nose a bit more to the right and we would have been on point. But I'm not going to complain about that one, guys. Again, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all on the next stream. Have a good night, guys.